There's obviously a lot of advantages towards being in a cat, but there's also disadvantages.
It's a beauty.
It is a beast of a boat. That thing is no joke. This is just the beginning. That's a great way to start right there. We did exactly what we came out here to do, and that was bend some rods, man.
Everyone here is so friendly.
Looks like home, feels like home.
Cheers.
Cheers, guys. What's wild is this entire island was bought for $2,000. I'm so glad that we got to come here and experience this because who knows, something like this may not be around in the future. All right, guys, so here we go. You know the drill here.
That's right. So welcome back. We are headed over to some new territory, which I'm excited to actually head over there because we've been talking about doing this for years.
And we're finally doing it.
We're finally doing it in our own boat.
You guys know how it goes, you know? We love hitting these new locations, doing these travel boating trips, and just doing everything boating, from fishing, beaches, restaurants, you know, waterfront hotels. We're gonna be showing you guys the whole 9 yards based on where we're going. Really excited to get there. It's a long way, 150 miles, but it's a walk in the park for a boat like this. So let's see how fast we can get there. All right, so we got a nice easy cruise right here. Doing about 40 miles an hour so the drone can keep up, but doing 0.8 miles per gallon, fully loaded, on our way in the Gulf. And it is just beautiful right now, you know? Back at home, winds were definitely cranking, but what's great about where we're going right now is we got the wind behind us, and as we get up the west coast of Florida, we're gonna be protected from the wind. So it's gonna be a nice, easy ride, just like this. Stephanie's happy, she's in a good mood, right?
Yeah, what is it, miles per gallon?
That's right. But we're close to a mile per gallon, we're close. But the fact that we're just headed to where we're going on vacation, just nice to get away, see a new territory. All right. What do you think, Stephanie?
I think the beach is perfect, but getting to the beach is what worries me.
She thinks that a shark is gonna eat her from right here to there. So like a good husband, Stephanie, I'll test the waters. How about that?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Oh, watch out for the shark.
I do not like getting into
Oh
that
my
water.
gosh. In all fairness, the Gulf is pretty murky compared to the waters back home in the Keys, but this is one of our favorite spots. If you guys keep up with us here on Life by the Bow, this is Middle Cape Beach, and it's a nice place to just stop off. You just want to hang out for a little while on a beach. And so far we've knocked off about 40 miles, so 40 miles from home is where we're at. So far so good. We're gonna keep on moving.
Well, that's why, y'all, I don't like jumping into water. You would never see this guy walking and then he grabs your little toe.
Ah, he's harmless. Home sweet home.
That's right, that's the happy mama dance.
Keely is currently on her way with Grandma. And tell them where we're at, Stephanie.
We're at Matanza Bay, and it's a beautiful little resort here. And behind us, we have a beautiful, not little, but large vessel.
A very large vessel.
That we're gonna be testing the waters with tomorrow. It's
That's
actually
the truth.
our first time
Ever
fishing.
riding on a front runner cat. I guess you've never really been on a high performance cat.
Not fishing.
But we have a 2-bedroom suite here that the guys over at Bay Marine were awesome enough to hook us up with over here. And right there is their 37 cat. That's KP right there. He's gonna be joining us tomorrow. And they're gonna be taking us out into the Gulf tomorrow to do some fishing. But I mean, man, just look at this thing.
It's a beauty.
It is a beast of a boat. That thing is no joke, but this is just the beginning. And for once, we're actually to our hotel early, so we just get to relax. That's what happens when you bypass fishing, but What do you think? What's going through your mind?
I really like this little town. You guys gotta come check it out for yourself. I can understand why everyone comes over to the West Coast. I mean, we are walking distance from all the restaurants right around the corner. So I'm excited to try those.
A lot to go to by boat too,
yeah,
which is really cool. Very, very big boating community. I mean, as you can see, I mean, there's just houses everywhere, and every single one of them, of course, has a boat. And there's no shortage of them either. But,
and they're beautiful, the homes here too.
Yeah, but it's just a really cool situation. Really excited to get out there with the Bay Marine guys. We'll introduce them a little more bright and early tomorrow morning. But the next time I'll be talking to you guys, it's right then and there. All right, guys, day 2 here in Fort Myers. As you guys can see, we're on the 37 Cat now. Pretty excited because we've never fished this boat before.
Nope.
But we have the guys here from Bay Marine. This is KP right here, Kyle. These are the guys that you call down here in Fort Myers if you want a front runner. So they're nice enough to take us out, show you the fishery down here, do some fishing, and hopefully everything goes as planned. What can we catch today?
Everything's open right now besides gag and red snapper, it looks like, so.
Awesome.
It'll be a good day.
And then as far as I know, based on what you guys have told me, we're running about 100 miles today.
Yeah, we'll run out and start fishing anywhere from 70 to 100 miles and see what we find. And, you know, it's a little breezy today, so it's a good
day to test the Cat.
It's a good standard of, you know, kind of our normal summertime winds and Gulf of America chop, so.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, we're looking forward to it. Someone we didn't introduce over here is also Haig.
Yeah.
He does a lot of the financing for Front Runner, which is pretty cool too. So you buy a boat from these guys, get your loan from him, and we're going to take you guys along and see what it's all about, but we're excited. So we just broke outside of Sandbar right here. Definitely starting to get into a little bit of wave action right here, which is exactly what I was hoping for, because these are the type of conditions that, you know, you want going out for a sea trial and of course, full day of fishing, right?
Absolutely, absolutely.
There's obviously a lot of advantages towards being in a Cat, but there's also disadvantages.
I have that conversation all the time. I'm like, you know, just because you've been on one Cat that maybe wasn't that great, don't write off all Cats. It's no different than a monohull.
And what would you say is the #1 thing that sets this Cat apart from, say, some of the other high-performance Cats that other builders are building?
I definitely think they've hit a home run with the lifting strakes on the bottom of the boat. It's going to pick up. It's not going to hunt. It's not going to dive into the, you know, into the trench and the beam seat, which is really cool. And another thing I really like is being able to turn the boat and actually roll the boat into a current, which I think is huge.
If I do have to be brutally honest, I am a monohull guy, but one thing that I think is just exceptional about this boat specifically is just the amount of room that we have to have 7 people on board to go fishing today in the range.
Absolutely.
You know, the fuel capacity, having 650 miles of range in this boat, man, you can go wherever you want.
That's
and like I said, for us, the Bahamas, I could go just about anywhere and everywhere I want to go with all the fuel that I brought from the States.
Exactly.
So, should be a good day.
It's going to be a great day.
So about 80 miles later, here we are. And basically we're in an area right now that Kyle knows that should hold some pretty good bottom. And we're just using the transducer to scan around to see if we can see any fluctuations on the bottom, maybe mark a bunch of fish. The fact that he's slowing down tells me that he potentially found something, but we're gonna rig up a couple knocker rigs right here. We're using 60-pound leaders, 40-pound braid, and then we have our 30 to 50 Avail 7-foot offshore rod right here. 7,500 pen slammer. Hopefully, next time you guys see this rod, we'll be connected to a grouper or a snapper. Thank you, ma'am.
Hello, I'm the freshest of the place. When I left with my Bobby, can't keep the pace. Head to toe while dripping this style. I'm fly with $1 million smile. You cannot beat me, never could you see me. When you this fresh, everybody wanna greet me.
Come on.
Oh,
Let's go, baby.
that's a good grouper, I think.
Got something here. Just gotta get them up. It's got some pull to it right there though, man. I'll take that. Gotta put the rod to work right there.
Doubled up.
There we go. Now he's really coming up. I think he might have blown up his swim bladder there. Fishing right now, I believe, in 150 feet. So the fact that we're tight, definitely got a ways to go. Woo! Welcome to the Gulf, baby.
You got color?
I got color over here too. We got a red snapper, I think. I got someone else's line too.
It's mine.
Well, I don't know what the better catch is, Stephanie or the red snapper. So as cool as that is, guys, from what you were telling me earlier, unfortunately, these guys have to go back, right?
They do. So we'll vent them and release them back and come back June 1st.
Yes, sir. I'll tell you what, that's a great way to start right there. Even though they're not going in the box, you know, we did exactly what we came out here to do, and that was bend some rods, man. So if you go right behind the pec fin right here, that's basically gonna go right to a swim bladder. As you can hear, that air is coming right out of him. Because if we don't do this, he won't be able to swim back down to the bottom. So we wanna make sure that we can do our part, come back here, catch them when they're in season. There he goes. We're just gonna take half a sardine. The way that I'm gonna do it is go through the bottom lip, out through the top, just like that. We're just gonna go ahead and drop straight down, see what happens. Say a prayer, hope for the best, make it happen.
Ready, Steph?
KP's on. Let's go, KP. Show them how it's done, baby.
All right.
Oh, there we go.
All right. Doubled up, baby.
Double trouble right there, baby.
Woo.
Let's do it. That's what's so cool about fishing out here in the Gulf. You find a good number, and if the fishing's good, it's on, just like this. I mean, when you come 80, 100 miles offshore, this is kind of what you can expect. But 70, you got to get the fish up before KP so we can show them how great the rods are.
That's right.
I'll tell you what, it's no joke when you're doing that for 100 feet all the way up to the top. You guys might have the same
It
fish.
literally is going right to the same area. Oh, here it is. I see color. Got
What we
another.
Got
Do
the
we
same
really got the
exact
same fish?
That's
Wait,
funny,
what?
man. That's hilarious.
Wow. That's hilarious. That's my very first time hooking the exact same fish. Do you see the way?
Well, here it is, right before your eyes.
Right?
Step
What?
right up. Yeah, whose fish is it?
Yeah.
That's the real question.
Stephanie's the guest.
Gosh, man.
This is a thick one.
That is. It took the both of us. Did I take some of the weight off of you?
Yes, you did. I would go down and he's still coming up. Is that your biggest red snapper?
I got some big ones in Steam Hatchie. Woohoo!
Look at that right there.
Took 2 people to get this fish up.
That's the fastest red snapper fight you'll ever see right there. Not only are these fish abundant, but they're big. It just goes to show how many of them are out here. But I guess the scientists have their reasoning for their closure, but it seems like there's no shortage of them out here. But that's really cool. Always still really fun to fight on them.
Let's venom. Look at that right here. This guy had some octopus in his mouth. It's pretty interesting.
All right, that should do it.
There you go. I love watching them swim away like that.
I don't. I like seeing them in the fish box.
Well, I'm saying when we gotta throw them back, it's nice to see them swim nice and lively.
I agree. Some days you'll catch grouper in certain spots, and then some days you'll catch snappers, and it just so happens today we're catching snappers. So unfortunately, we're trying to get away from those fish. Even though they're big, they pull hard, and they're so fun to catch. But the goal is to put something in the box to bring back to the hotel tonight to eat. So we're making a move to our next spot here. And we're gonna see if we can hopefully catch some groupers. But I'll tell you what, today is the day to test a boat. Here we go, new spot. Hopefully we have a new species.
Oh, there we go. Get him.
What's kind of funny is sometimes the front of the boat gets the bite, so had to make a little move there. What's just so crazy about these spots out here in the Gulf is, you know, they're so small, sometimes only a boat length size. Or if you're anchor locking, you're locking that trolling motor right on top. Here, you want to grab the weight?
Nice red grouper.
Well, there we go. My first Gulf red grouper of the day.
I think I'm hooked up.
See, that's why we bring Stephanie.
All right, here. Maybe an amberjack, because we're on a wreck. Let's see what this is.
Was it worth it, Stephanie?
What?
The run. Is it worth the run?
Listen, just being out on the boat, I'm not complaining.
Do you guys care to keep an amberjack?
I could. There we go.
Nice job, Stephanie. Woo-hoo-hoo. There we go. Nice job, Stephanie. He's not too happy. He's still got a lot left in him.
Yeah, he does.
That's a nice little amberjack right there. We would keep them, but I'd rather keep a grouper than an amberjack, so send him on his way. KB's got dinner right there, baby. Let's go. One thing I love about fishing out here in the Gulf this far is it almost brings you back in time. You know, this is probably what fishing was like before it became so accessible. But now we have 37-foot catamarans with 40 cylinders on the back of them, pushing us out here in 3 to 5 foot seas, and this is the outcome. I'm not complaining though. Look at that right there. Kyle is ready to use that Avail gaff. We're gonna make sure to leave that one with him. Nice, let's go. That's what I'm talking about right there. That's what we came for. But that's exactly what you gotta do, guys. You just gotta hop around, try to find them. We found them. And where there's one, there's more. Typically, you gotta catch a couple small ones before you catch a beast like that, but. Kyle, KP, appreciate the boat ride and the fishing trip today.
Yeah, it just gives you the ability to, you know, get out here on even the windy days. If you got friends coming down for red snapper season, or, you know, this will give you the ability to get out there and increase your fishability.
And then especially, you know, if you are from the West Coast here and you want to do the complete opposite of what we did, maybe run the boat down to the Tortugas or the Keys. I mean, that's the appeal with these high horsepower, large fishing center consoles.
Yeah, this really allows you to maximize your day on the water to cover as much ground as you really want to.
Definitely, man. You know, I have to say, the Cat was nice, but the best boat is the one that floats and is accessible to you. So, you know, there's no such thing as a bad boat. And we're gonna fillet up the fish here, eat some dinner, rest up, get ready for the Sandbar tomorrow. All right, guys, so we got Chef Jose over here, and he's actually gonna be cooking up this grouper here. If you guys know us, if we catch a bunch of fish, great. If not, no big deal. But the fact that we're here at the fillet table is how you know we had a successful day right here. So we're just gonna knock the fillets off of both sides of the fish here. Just gonna basically get between the meat on the side of the fish and its spine. We don't wanna waste any meat here. Now we're gonna go right over the top of that rib cage. But that's another great thing about not catching a whole lot of fish, is you really get to take your time. That's one side off right there. And we could basically slide that knife right underneath. And that is a perfect grouper fillet, just like that. And it's gonna taste as good as it looks. I hope that's for us.
Keely, there's some fish coming out.
Talk about some presentation. That's awesome.
That looks amazing.
So you got the fish 3 ways, blackened. I did a gremolata crust on the middle one there, and then just battered and fried.
Nice.
We have a little mixture of roasted vegetables there, mushroom, peppers, onions.
Awesome.
Great.
Thank you very
so
much, Jose. And thanks for setting this up for
Yeah,
us, you know, because of
everything.
these guys, you know, they basically sponsored this entire show, put us on the boat, got us out there offshore, and then made it all come together here in the end. Let me try this out. Dig in, guys, go for it. Thank you, Bay Marine.
Is it good? One more?
Good stuff.
All right, guys, day 3 here, and it's shaping out to be a beautiful day. You know, after getting our fishing fix in yesterday, got the whole family on the boat today, so KP is gonna be taking us to a hot spot here called Cabbage Key, which we're excited to see. But something that's really cool right here is we actually have the Sirius XM Marine overlays up here on our Garmin chart plotter. And we've shown you guys in the past some of the fishing features, but say for example, you're not into fishing and you're just a boater, first and foremost, the radar loop. You know, say for example, you're out of reach of service, there's no way to get radar. So this all comes in through a satellite, so you have it all right up here on the screen. So we know that since we don't have any storms, it's gonna make for a perfect sandbar day. Another thing that's significant is wind direction. As you can see right here, that's exactly what these tabs are showing. And based on the legend right here, it's showing that we have about 10 knots of wind, which isn't bad at all. It's also showing us the wave direction. So we know as long as we hug the coast of Florida right here, we'll be completely protected from any wave action. It also shows us the wave periods. So right here, we have 3-second wave periods, and huge thanks to them for sponsoring the channel. We're gonna throttle down, go meet up with KP, and let's see what Cabbage Key is all about.
Whew. So we made it on the dock, and everyone here is so friendly. Starting off, everybody was lending a hand to help us park. They do that for everyone around here, which is great.
A huge shout out to the dock master, which is a viewer of the show here, but I don't know why, it almost kind of gives you the feel of like the Keys, the Bahamas, and Disney World. I don't know, everything's just done up so nice, like the landscaping's really pretty, and you can really tell that they take a lot of pride in this island, just trying to maintain it and just make it as nice as possible. But I can definitely tell it's a tourist hotspot because they run ferries here, which is kind of cool because if you guys don't have a boat,
You can just take the ferry.
that's right. But supposedly the drinks are real good here, the food's real good, and it's just a nice spot to just walk around and check out the island and get off the grid.
Cheers!
Cheers, guys.
Yay! Gotta say, the food has been by far some of the best I've had the entire trip. With the fish dip was delicious, excellent choice. Same with the chowder. I mean, can't go wrong with a salad. But how's your Reuben?
Good? Guys, is food good? Awesome. That's great. You know, I typically wouldn't order or eat fish 2 days in a row, but I'm a sucker for a Reuben. This is delicious right here. So good. Break it down, Keely. Break it down, baby. There you go. She's just like her mom. Cool stuff, right?
So cool.
Yeah.
Keely's having the time of her life right now, just walking around.
Dancing away, as you guys saw.
It says tortoises this way. Are there?
Oh, so apparently there's tortoises here, but we have the water tower actually in front of us here, and supposedly this is a working water tower. Captures water for the island, which is pretty cool, but what's wild is this entire island is 100 acres, and supposedly it's some of the highest land above sea level here on the southwestern coast, and the entire island was bought
for $2,000, which is insane. So just goes to show you guys a little bit of perspective based on how things change. And I'm so glad that we got to come here and experience this, because who knows, something like this may not be around in the future. But the restaurant was great.
It was 10 out of 10.
Yeah, but I think what we're gonna do, now that we're all nice and full, we're gonna hop back onto the boat, and KP is actually gonna take us to what he calls one of the best sandbars over here on the southwestern coast.
I'm excited because he's been doing an awesome job, so.
We've caught good fish.
Yep.
Eating good food.
That's right.
And we went on one heck of a boat ride, so
Yeah.
the journey continues.
This is it. This is pretty.
Yeah. So I believe this is Boca Grande Sandbar right here, KP brought us to. Pretty cool. There's like an old landmark right here, which is a railroad track, and it looks like many hurricanes have done its damage. Lost our sun. It's a little cloudy right now, so water doesn't look as pretty as it should. Nonetheless, it got really hot really quick. Gonna be nice to just hang out in the sandbar. What's Keely? Keely's asleep again?
Yeah, afternoon nap, baby.
Yeah, the girl sleeps more than her mom.
It's hereditary.
Look at these guys over there deploying anchor by hand. I mean, come on. What is this?
Dad.
If you guys are boat enthusiasts like me, which I'm sure you are, it's just so cool to see these boats rafted up side by side. You know, there is a huge debate in the industry right now, mono or cat. And I thought it was really cool that we got to experience this boat for ourselves, but I have to admit, I still am a mono guy. Not to say that I ever won't go to a cat. You know, for Keely being as young as she is, having that cabin, having the AC, it's just something that's really important for our family. You know, whereas this is very fit for the west coast of Florida here, where you have to run out 80 to 100 miles, and some people prefer that ride in a cat. But really grateful for Bay Marine, really grateful for you guys for watching and making things like this possible. But as you can see, Stephanie is one step ahead of me with Keely in the water over there.
Welcome to the party.
What's up, baby? You having fun? Look at that little face. I think I've had the most fun on this trip over a lot of the trips that we've done. All we had to do was just show up. And you know, we're so grateful for that. And just make sure, guys, you know, if you are in the market for a boat, not that I'm trying to sell you guys on a boat, but if you guys like what we do, you're interested in the Front Runner brand, you know, they are the guys to call on the west coast of Florida here. So, like I said, appreciative of you guys, appreciative of them. Thank you guys so much for watching us here on Life by the Bow and giving us a shot and watching until the end. But until next time, Keely, say bye.
Thank you for watching.
Say bye, baby.
Bye.
Bye, guys. Thank you.
Thanks so much.